just wanted to go over what is in my first aid emergency toiletries kit that I'm taking on the PCT with me. It's about £1 for everything, and there are consumables in here. I am going a little bit heavier with this gear because I would just rather be safe than sorry for a number of health related and injury related things. Other people might choose to take less, other people might choose to take more. I really think that first aid toiletries really needs to be specific by the person. I don't really think people should be judging each other because we all have really different bodies and different issues, and I don't think it's always packing your fears. Sometimes people just have different needs. So I will go through my stuff. The way I have this organized is I have a big gallon bag, and then I have tons of smaller sandwich bags that have different things. So I have a emergency gear kit if I ever got like lost or in big trouble. I have a foot care, blisters, wounds kit. I have a toiletries kit. I have feminine hygiene products, and then I have various pills. So I'll go through all of those. I also have a few lighter things that I will also go over. First of all, I am allergic to bee stings, so I am taking an EpiPen along. I'm not as concerned about one bee sting because actually if I get stung by one bee and I take like a lot of Benadryl right away, I have like localized swelling, but I don't get my throat closing up like it would happen if I don't take Benadryl. However, in the desert, there's like Africanized bees, and I've read a few accounts of people getting stung multiple times, and I have never been stung multiple times. So I'm definitely worried about that maybe Benadryl wouldn't be enough. So I am going to take an EpiPen for at least the desert, and I may choose to get rid of it to save weight once I pass those Africanized bees. So I have an EpiPen. For me, personalized, I have a lot of plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis issues, and it totally could be hike ending for me. So I am bringing some stuff for that. I have a tiny toy dog tennis ball that is amazing. I use it to roll out muscles. I use it to especially roll out my feet for plantar fasciitis, my arches. This is great. It's really light, it's small, and it works really well for muscles. I'm also bringing along KT tape. If you have any kind of tendon problems, I totally recommend KT tape. This has been hike saving for me on hikes where I was really hurting and would have maybe had to turn back, but then put on KT tape and was able to continue pain-free. I'm an athlete, and I've played entire seasons where I wouldn't have been able to play except for KT tape. So I love KT tape. I'm bringing along a few of these, and then I'm planning on just having my parents send me more or just buy some along the way. For my pills, the main thing I'm bringing along is Benadryl and ibuprofen. However, I am bringing along some Pepto-Bismol and laxatives because basically I do not want to have poop issues in the backcountry. I want to be able to just take care of that right away. Also, I am bringing along melatonin, which you might have not thought of, which I would recommend, especially if you're a super light sleeper or just struggle with sleeping. I definitely don't plan on taking that every night. But for nights where maybe the boogeyman is outside of my tent and I'm like camped alone and I'm feeling really concerned, I think a melatonin is really going to go a long way to helping me get a good night's sleep. So I'm bringing that along. For my toiletries, I have just a regular travel toothpaste. I have a toothbrush that is travel size, so it is smaller and lighter than a regular toothbrush. However, I decided for hygiene wise not to get one of those cut-off ones because that would then include me putting my dirty hands near my mouth, and that's gross. So I'm not going to do that. Another cool trick, something that I really love, is I bring along a brush that I have intentionally broken. So this is already a travel brush, but I've totally taken off the handle for it, and it works really fine. Even if I have really tangled hair, it works great, and it's probably less than an ounce. It's really, really light. So I have that along. For my foot care, I am mostly bringing along the Leuko tape. That's the huge lifesaver. Everyone should bring along Leukotape. I'm also bringing along needle and thread, and then I do have some bigger band-aids for in case I fall. So if I like scraped up my elbows or my knees, I'm not going to put Leukotape on that. I'm going to put up like a bigger band-aid. So I do have some of those along. And then I do have a basically emergency kit. So I have some waterproof matches in here. I have an extra lighter. I have my tiny pocket knife. It's super small. You can get it at REI for about $15. It has a knife, it has scissors, it has a toothpick, and it has tweezers, and it honestly has everything I might possibly need. I rarely use it, but if I need it for something, this does the trick, and it's super light. I also have, I can't remember if I said this or not, might be repeat. I have an extra lighter in case my lighter doesn't work anymore, in case it gets wet or whatever, then I have a spare just in case. I also am bringing along O-rings for the Sawyer filter. I actually got these for free from Sawyer, so I contacted them and said, hey, mine broke, what's up with that? And they're like, oh, here's 2 extra. And they also told me not to tighten it too much and that breaks it. So I don't know if they were just saying that to put the blame on me, but probably I did tighten it too much. So that's a tip for you too. Another thing that I have along is a compass in here, and then I have a mirror. And the mirror I think I might still replace because it's a little bit heavy. I think I can find a lighter mirror, but a mirror is a super useful search and rescue item because you can basically use it to flag a helicopter from really far away. So I would definitely recommend a mirror of some kind. I do think I can probably maybe find a smaller one, but for now this is what I have, and it's coming with me, and I'm not using it to look at my face, but it's an important item that I'm bringing along. And let's see, anything else in here? I have like, oh, I have some tenacious tape along for repairs, and then I have just like one little bug spray off wipe that I just happen to own. I'm probably going to start keeping actual bug spray in the Sierras, but not yet in the desert. And then the only other thing is I am bringing Body Glide along, and I am actually also bringing deodorant along. I'll get to that in a second. Body Glide is for when you're chafing. I've actually never used it before, but I've heard great things. One thing that I do for both the Body Glide and for the deodorant is I take it out of its little plastic container, so it's just the cream. It does get a little melty, but it keeps its shape pretty well, and it just makes the inside of the bag kind of milky and hazy, but otherwise it still works great. I personally do bring deodorant again in a bag like this. It would probably be even smaller than this because I know some people say, oh, you'll be smelly anyways. I notice a huge difference. So when I hiked the JMT, I did have deodorant along, and I think on 2 days I forgot to put it on and just noticed right away and was just like, wow, I smell today. And then I had to like wash extra and use deodorant, and it's totally, I mean, everyone's different. Maybe other people just naturally smell more than me. I don't know, but for me, it makes a huge difference. So I am bringing it along, and that one I would consider my luxury item. So yeah, so these are basically all the things. Oh, I guess I didn't talk about feminine hygiene. I think for feminine hygiene, people really have to just go based on themselves. Everybody has such different cycles, and they have to do different things for it. I do think a Diva cup is a great thing. However, I'm not bringing it for the desert because to me, I need at least about ½ liter of water to really feel hygienic about it as far as being able to clean it properly. And I'm not going to have ½ liter to spare, I think, in the desert. So I'm going without that, and I'd rather carry a little bit more of the like pads and stuff and have to pack more out than to have to be unhygienic. But then I might change that in the Sierras. Another tip I have for the ladies out there, if you are going to change your birth control before the trip, make sure you do it more than 6 months ahead of time so that your body has a time to go crazy and deal with it, because I didn't. And I'm still dealing with it, but it's gonna be okay. So anyways, pro tip about that. So anyway, so I have about a pound here. It's a lot of stuff, but I also think it's really useful stuff. It's stuff that's individualized for me. Don't let anybody shame you for what you're bringing along in your first aid kit, because we all have different bodies, and maybe you saw some things that you might want to use. So yeah.